So the news I have on Beterbiev and Bivol is confirmed by Bivol. They don't have any rematch clause in their contracts right now. There hasn't been anything that's been negotiated or set so far. But one thing I have noticed, and I don't want to put Turkey Al-Sheikh under the bus, and this is all allegedly, but Bivol has come out, or somebody else has came out, not Bivol. There's reports coming out that Turkey Al-Sheikh would like a second fight with Beterbiev and Bivol, possibly a rematch. And my thing is this right here. There's so many options if Bivol and Beterbiev fight. If they don't have a rematch, with Beterbiev already being an age where he's kind of older now, it's possibly going to be, 40 in January. So he needs to try to go towards more other fights instead of going back into a rematch. I feel like with the Turkey Al-Sheikh situation, it's too many undisputed fights and things like that that have rematches going on. These fights technically don't need rematches at all. I don't think none of these fights need rematches. There's so many options in boxing. I think they should kind of just move on about with certain things, especially when you have guys who's 37, 38, 39 rematching right now. It's not really ideal in boxing. I mean, it happens, but in this situation, I don't think that should be going down. But they're saying that Turkey Al-Sheikh wants a rematch with Bivol and Beterbiev. I don't know how true that is. That's the reports that's coming out. And I can't confirm the reports as far as seeing what's being said. But I don't think it should happen, because if Canelo and Benavidez is trying to get in the situation, I know Benavidez is the mandatory, but if Canelo and Benavidez are trying to get in the situation where they're trying to fight the winner of that fight, I would definitely not try to go for a rematch at this point. Light heavyweight division is starting to get a little fire under it, and we kind of need some things to come together. And if that's not going to be an option as far as those guys, I don't want to see a rematch. It's just slowing things down. It's already a lot of things already slowed down. I think the Usyk and Fury situation slowed things down. Beterbiev getting injured and not fighting in June slowed things down. I told people already, like, those fights and this rematch coming up between Fury and Usyk, it's holding up a lot of things in boxing. That's why a lot of people are saying, well, that's a big fight and everything. Those are the only big fights that's happening this year, because it's been so much postponed things going on. I tried to tell people early in the year. They thought I was just complaining. But things are getting postponed because they're not trying to put big fights around these big fights. That's going to take away from what they're doing. That's why they're lowering the price of pay-per-view right now. They want guys to get full exposure. They don't want to try to promote 4 or 5 different fights, big fights at one time. That's just not what they're trying to do. I mean, it is some big fights coming on, but I'm talking about high-level, historic fights. They're not trying to put 3 or 4 historic fights on in 1 month. It's going to take away from everything that's going around. You won't really be able to keep up with it, because we had, I want to say it's going to be 2 or 3 fights. It's going to be 3. It's been 3 big fights this month. Canelo, in a way. Then you have Anthony Joshua coming up. You got the Sandy Ryan and Michaela Mayer fight. So a lot of those different things is holding boxing up right now. That's why I was telling people, like, man, Tyson Fury needs to hurry up and get in the ring. And people were like, oh, it's okay. Nah, it's not. Because now, instead of having a big fight in January, they might possibly move a big fight to March just because of the whole Fury situation. But it's going to be hard to kind of promote a fight around at the same time as Mike Tyson and all the other things they got going on. They got Tank possibly fighting in November. I don't know how, because it seems like they're cutting close. But who knows, man? Who knows? But it's an interesting take. It's interesting. Just don't want to see a rematch right now. Not saying that fight doesn't deserve a rematch. It's just going to hold things up in boxing, man. I just don't want to see Beterbiev fighting a rematch at 40 years old. And people are already saying, well, he seems like he's getting older and He's probably not the same as he was. Seems like he's slowing down. And put him in a rematch? Nah. I'd rather him fight, if he wins, a Canelo, or even though Canelo's not going to fight him, or Benavidez. I want to see him fight Benavidez, to be honest with you. If he wins, that's the fight I want to see. And then if Bivol loses, there's no reason why Canelo still can't fight him. But Canelo said he only wants to fight him when he wins. Because Canelo wants those belts. He wants to be 2-time undisputed. And makes a lot of sense. I was trying to see what was going on before that, but yeah, I did some information on that early on in the year. I said that Canelo would try to fight Bivol if he wins, to try to block Benavidez, but who knows, man? It looks like it's going down right now. Looks like it's going down. But to have a rematch, there's no reason. I really don't see. But that's all I got. Like and subscribe.